Uzuri kama kachoro bodi kakupa mola. I'm like my, oh my. Macho yake yanavonga just like a candlelight. Lips zake zilivoloa kizingata. I'm like my, oh my. Gozi yake inavometameta kama shima. Hivi wewe unazani na kutamani la nipe trace zaidi ya vile ninavyodhania. Kina bio kampani na machache ya kukuambia. Cause I need you in my life. I'm trying to find me a wife. And you look just like her type. You look like just my type. Swear this love is first sight. Cause you are such a beautiful woman. 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 Could you be my only woman? Woman. Woman. Aisha, 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 Aisha. Mzuri kama kachora, kiuno kama dondora. I'm like my, oh my. Na hivyo vimacho na keka kolo anaviripua abadisha plaka kola kospendo
to Tanzanians.
Gonna make you my
255 brother man.
Keka mudo
sisters.
Avujishawa nishajaribu kupapa.
Good afternoon.
Salama.
Grand rising.
Mombasa
10 minutes past 2 p.m.
Paka sasa
You're doing amazing.
Mshepu sasa yeah. Maneno manungu
Happy new week.
eti mara kiuno mechongesha Uturuki uwajibu kurupuki penzi lako
Had a beautiful weekend.
duki
Ready for the week.
Zachura azini
Ready for the conversations.
Maji wakisema mchana na usiku atalala. Umebarikiwa sura kwenye shindano la warembo, acha nikupe taji. Kwanza bado kijana, kifuani hapajalala. You such a beautiful woman. 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 Would you be my one and only woman? Woman.
Yeah, good afternoon, family. 15 minutes past the top of the hour. Hope you guys are doing great. Had a beautiful weekend. And of course, wishing you guys a beautiful, beautiful week ahead. To everyone live with me on YouTube, Rumble Beach, on the radio stations, Spreaker, Spotify, wherever you're catching this live from. Karibuni sana to yet another beautiful conversation of the Pan-African Bliss. My name is Joby, in case you're here for the first time. But of course, to our returning listeners, Karibuni sana once again. Today we shall be having interesting conversation as usual. Matters coming from Africa and within its people, as we take a look of what has been happening during the weekend. And of course, a lot has been taking place. Still much more updates coming from Tanzania. So many young people have lost their lives. So many actually also parents who are involved in the demonstrations who are shot, and we shall be discussing on this. And also what is actually taking place as we see other African leaders supporting this motion. And my topic of the day is literally talking about he who defends corruption is involved in the crime, because that is basically what is happening in Africa. We're not seeing any African leader apart from Ibrahim Traore, who has boldly stood up and of course defended the African continent and called out the puppets as well, because of what they do working with the Western powers and all that. We've not seen any African leader apart from the African Union, which is also a scam. We discussed it on Friday, which has called out Tanzania because of the brutal elections and how actually everything ended up turning up. We have President William Ruto, who has openly and of course boldly talked about also how he supports this, and there's nothing wrong regarding what is happening in Tanzania or what happened. But we shall also talk about literally, as you see, revolution awakening and rising in Africa. We have Hakainde chilema coming from Zambia, who was stoned by the people. We shall be talking about that because African people are getting tired of your promises. Every time you want to show up appearance with your crazy bodyguards, crazy convoys. There's nothing you've done for the people. Your perfect suits, but there's nothing you've really done for the people. So people are getting tired of that. We also want to talk about the demonstrations that took place in London, of course, in representation of Sudan. Free Sudan, we shall be discussing on that. At least the recognition and the word is finally there. It's been long. Free Palestine, long. Free Israel, but nobody has been talking about Congo and Sudan. We also have Bill Gates, part of our conversation, who is committing $1.4 billion to help Africans and Asian farmers. We're going to talk about that. And of course, last but not least, of course, what is also happening in other countries as we get to actually continue today's conversation. Once again, karibuni. A quick reminder, as always, I love telling you to kindly get yourself our application. In case you're here for the first time, karibu sana. Feel free to actually be more welcome by subscribing, following us on whatever platform you're streaming live with us from, and of course, ensure you rush to the Google Play Store, download our app. Black Hot Fire Network is the name. Once you have the application, whether on your phone, an Android phone, on your Android TV, whether on your Amazon or Roku TV, we're on the TV as well. You can listen to us on the radio segment, or rather switch to the TV section. You can also to be able to view all the beautiful previous and live shows as well. But apart from that, your health is your wealth, and we have amazing organic supplements as well on our platform. Apart from that, we also have an apparel store where you can get yourself some hoodies, t-shirts, beanies with our logo. But in case you also want something of yours printed with your logo, just pay the moolah. But you're helping your wealth. I love discussing about critical thinking because my show, I love critical thinkers, and I'm heavy on critical thinking, still. But get yourself some brain and focus formula, which is actually an organic supplement that helps you in case you have any challenges on remembering things, or maybe trying to, construct sentences on your head. Brain and focus gets you focused.
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
It's a very affordable price, and as always, we keep on saying, in case you have any questions that you might be having, that is before or after purchasing these organic supplements, feel free to email us at kcnewsam15@gmail.com, rather joby at blackhotfirenetwork.com, or rather leave your comment that is on the sports page itself, where we have on the down segment, we have a chat there. Just leave your question there, or rather on the show page, still on the website. Imagine we have all that on the website. We can go to different options so you can leave your questions. Go to the show page, leave your comments as well, or rather your question there, and we'll be able to see it, or rather on the WhatsApp. If you are on the WhatsApp group and you're facing any difficulties on purchasing any of our products or supplements on the network, let us know. Bakaribuni sana once again. This is the media of the 21st century. My name is Joby. To everyone who's just tuning in, like I said, we shall be talking about corruption, because generally Africa, it's crazy because we barely, it's crazy because we barely have positive news every time coming from the continent. We barely. And we can actually count to that literally the whole of this week. If you guys are always careful, we barely, not just Africa, but globally, it's very rare we discuss any positive news, because we're talking about a system that is designed of war. It's so crazy. We're talking about war. We have, of course, always white people with a debate that the first people to exist here, and black people, of course, we know we're the first people to exist here, but white people have been long defending this. Shout out to a certain white girl I bumped into her video, and she was actually very open about the situation, saying that if white people were never meant to exist, because of the genetic mutation, and literally how going deeper on how they come also from the animal genes. And she said how people were so mad about the fact, because are you mad about the fact that you are not even supposed to be existing? You know, it's crazy. So we have this white guy who's also explaining Ubuntu. You know, it's crazy how they try always overturn our how do I say, our phrases, our culture, to favor them, because there's nowhere since I've started and understood the African history where Ubuntu involved white people. It doesn't even, literally, geologically, it doesn't even apply when it comes to them. When you talk about Ubuntu, what it means when it comes to Africa. But this man, he is trying to say how Ubuntu means white people. Can we listen to this? This is so crazy. But at the same time, we have this guy who's actually coming in with so much facts. So pay attention.
Ubuntu means white people cannot have Ubuntu. And that means
Ubuntu means white people cannot have Ubuntu. I mean, that is very true.
people are not human.
That is correct. White people cannot have Ubuntu. And that's not our fault. That's your fault. White people lost their humanity a long time ago. Long before we ever started singing
They never had one. Let's start from that. They don't, these are people who don't have souls. Let's start from there. So they don't have humanity. Humanity is not anything that applies when it comes to them. The fact that these are people who they don't have a soul. They're soulless. So humanity can't apply even to them from the word go.
Long before they ever set foot on African soil. Do you know what white people were busy doing in Europe? They were killing each other. And this lasted for hundreds of years. Go read up on European history. It's just war after war after war. They only stopped killing each other when they found us. But that was temporary, because after they were done colonizing us, they started World War I and World War II. They just couldn't resist the urge to kill and destroy. It's part of their heritage. It's their white supremacist culture. They came to Africa with empty hearts and greedy hands. And because
literally, I love this, because these are facts we barely hear from our people. I just love the boldness growing in the African people. You know, I love the boldness growing in talking facts and not being scared. I love the boldness that I've seen, especially after all this masquerade and killings of young people. Thousands of people have died in Tanzania. People are boldly calling this out. I love this. Despite we saying, shout out to TikTok, man, they've completely taken that up for good, like in most of the African countries and globally, literally, because that's what they wanted. I was just trying to look at the videos of most of the things that have been taking place according to my research, and I can't find none of them. Are you kidding me? Like, none of them. It's crazy, because now I can find most of these videos on Instagram that I can find on TikTok. Shout out to Keith. It's crazy, because today I can find most of the videos that I can't find on TikTok. There's nowhere on TikTok you'll see a video of the Tanzanians youth, the bodies, the way they are so many lifeless. So many of them, how many of people are being killed. On TikTok, these videos are being censored, at least Instagram, but it's still owned by them. But yeah, shout out to Kid.
our ancestors were guided by Ubuntu, we welcomed these strangers into our home. Our ancestors didn't know they were inviting the devil into their lives. Our people showed them kindness.
Literally, it's like the debate that has been going on online about is heaven and hell real, you know, and all that. It's crazy, because we don't even realize the heaven and hell we've been lied to is all here. We had the heaven before these people came, and then you talk about the devil, who they ended up in their Bible classifying as a black person. Why is it? Because it's crazy. Nobody even dared to ask why the devil was black and then Jesus had to be white. You know, it's just so crazy and so diabolic. Jesus is white, the savior, but the savior narrative is the most evil person in masquerading people, in destroying societies, cultures, destroying history. But this is the God. And then the devil, who is a very patient person, I mean, a very humble person, a very humane person, doesn't attack anyone, gets to be described the devil. God, it's crazy, man. If you look at how you want to question religion, it's so many ways, man. It's so crazy. So the devil, actually, we live with the devil. The hell exists here, and the heaven exists right here.
We gave them food, shelter, respect. And what did we get in return? Chains, whips, guns,
Exactly.
rape, and genocide. Then they wonder why we see them as non-human. No human being would do what they did to another human being.
Ubuntu means white people cannot have Ubuntu. And that means white people are not.
Yeah, so I love the fact he really broke it down. And I see on the comment section, if I go on the comment section on that video, someone asked what Ubuntu. And of course, to learn a little bit, maybe for the people who don't know, let's look at what is Ubuntu based on Google. Ubuntu is a free and open source of operating system based on Linux. see the lies? Nothing. This is all their fictional science, not even connected to Africa. Nothing. For real. Let me share my screen. This is crazy. But we know what Ubuntu means. This is literally African people who are living in peace, harmony. We are full of love. If you describe it, actually, it's just many different meanings, but comes with so much love and oneness. One people. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Okay, I got it. Let me see if I can read this one. Or if still some fictions and some lies. What is in a word? The meaning of Ubuntu. Words are a powerful tool, significant in humanity evolution over millennia, millions of which are used in the 6,909 languages spoken worldwide. Yet some of these words carry more weight than others. From the German expression wordlust, which optimizes the African term Ubuntu is another such word. It's a singular word with multiple meanings, yet it conveys one key communal message that we are at the Dalenian philosophy considered integral to our core values. Togetherness, exactly what I just explained. Ubuntu is an ancient word noted in humanist African philosophy and can be roughly translated as humanity to others, or I am because we are, or it comes from the Zulu proverb, which umuntu gumuntu gabantu. Hey, that's an interesting one. Umuntu gumuntu gabantu, meaning a person is a person through other people. Oneness, literally. And the word origin can also be found in other languages derived from a Bantu language family and other sub-Saharan languages stretching from Zimbabwe to Rwanda. In the Rwanda language and the Burundi language of Kirundi, Ubuntu means human generosity and humanity. Whereas where else throughout Western Uganda and the Northern Tanzania, and several dialects use the term Ubuntu, not Ubuntu now, Ubuntu, to illustrate generosity, thoughtfulness, kindness to others within the community. And in the Zimbabwean language, Shona, the word unhu, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, shout out to the Zimbabweans, unhu is used to describe humanness or being human. Ubuntu ethos reaches far and wide and integral to many sub-Saharan African cultures. Though Ubuntu has various meanings, the core interpretation remains the same: humanity rooted in kindness. So literally what I just explained. So yeah, explains literally why so if you talk about why people they never have Ubuntu, these people don't even, they don't together, even when it comes to them, they're not even united. Shout out to John Moscow, I think you once made that comment. They're not united. These people are full of war, just like the young guys really explained. So African people, we have a lot of history to learn. We have a lot of history to learn. But going back, apart from what is happening with Ubuntu, we have Bill Gates, who has come with another project or some other funds. He's always the hero of the world. Shout out to him. Always the helper, the billionaire that always is thoughtful about the world not eating, the world health situation, the world everything. Talk about it. It's Bill Gates, the one who really cares. Come on, we know. But yeah, they're talking about how he's committing 1.4 billion to help Africans and Asian farmers battle extreme weather. So we're talking about weather, climate change, BS, which we know that it's part of the Agenda 2030. And then we're talking about control of food, which they want to forcefully take us to GMO seeds so that we can keep on being dependent on them. And then what do we get from this? Cancer. Talking about figuring ways on how they can still reduce the population, because the population it's too big. They can't feed this huge population. So one of the ways because they've seen people are getting smarter and smarter. That's why they have taken control of TikTok. People are getting smarter and smarter, and people are educated to understand these global agendas, what they are literally leading us to. But yes, they're talking about as I try to look for a video literally explaining further on that. Bill Gates, through his foundation, has announced a major commitment to strengthen agriculture resilience in sub-Saharan Africa and Asia. Over the next 4 years, the foundation will invest at least 1.4 billion US dollars towards equipping farmers with the tools and technologies they need to withstand increasingly extreme weather. The question is, why now? Because if you talk about Africa not even having proper equipment when it comes to farming tools, this has been a long project that they actually have ensured it's going to continue going in Africa. So why now? That's the first question. Because, for example, me being a farmer, the fact that I've been farming for years and I've been begging, the fact that my country or my company collaborates with the US or another company that can facilitate through our partnership, right? Because, of course, it's partnership and collaboration, remember? Through our partnership, if there's another company that can ask the finances to facilitate the tools that we need for farming, why won't this company fund me? Why does it have to be they're going to fund me only when it comes to them and what they want to benefit? Because that is what exactly we're seeing right here. And the question Africans need to start asking themselves, which we've not been long asking, is why Africa? Go help Asia alone. Go help Indians. Actually, there's so many. Are those people, all of them eating apart from seeing rats and everything on their food? Go clean up the healthcare system of that particular country. Go fix India. Go fix other countries. Leave Africa alone. Because the question is, why now? What do you want in benefit? What do you want back? What is it that you want in return? And there's a lot, if you look at it, of course, talking about climate change, BS, and then farming, which we know what it leads to. Not just control of them pushing you to the genetically modified seeds, which are going to be dependent. You're talking about your health as well. The initiative targets smallholders farmers who produce a significant share of global food, yet receive less than 1% of climate finance support. By funding innovations such as crop yield enhancement, digital advisory services, livestock improvements, and land restoration efforts, the program aims both to protect livelihoods and to reinforce global food system stability. Framed as part of Gates' vision ahead of the COP30 climate negotiation, the move reflects a shift towards practical, high-impact investments rather than purely abstract climate pledges. For farmers facing drought, floods, and other climate shocks, this could mean access to better seeds. Indeed, adapt technologies and advisory networks, offering hope for the next vulnerable producers who won't be left behind in the involving climate resilience, which is such a bullshit. And I love the first comment. Anything help from this man has a distraction. Exactly. Any help from this man is part of their distraction. At this point, Africans, if we don't know, I don't know how long we need to be told and educated. We've been giving white people so much privilege in our continent. Not understanding these people, again, going back to the video I think I shared last week, these people are constantly on war with us. They never stopped. They'll never stop. White people are constantly on war with Africans, and they're doing anything. It's evident what is happening in Sudan. Have you seen the bodies? How so many bodies were just trashed out of a lorry? Dead bodies trashed out like it's trash, like literally trashed out of a lorry. And you hear, oh, white man, help me, white man, you know, white man, what? Come on. Someone says plastic food is coming through. Of course, that is the agenda. Plastic food is coming through. Let me see if I can pull up video very quick. Just a minute. Let's see, because TikTok, you can't find a goddamn thing nowadays on TikTok. They're saying those results, this, that. Okay, let's look at a couple of videos here, because we know this man's scam has been exposed, but we're gonna keep on educating people until they listen, because it's true. Not so many people have this information. Most of the people are still very reliant on the public news, literally the public media. People are so reliant on that information, and that's what they feed. Whatever the government says, that's what they go. And then understanding what we've seen with their media, they report the same thing. So people feed the same information in a very big percentage or capacity. It's a very big percentage of people who consume lies through the mainstream media. So without knowing, you find yourself, oh, you know, they say this is the way to go because climate change is going, you know, climate change is shifting, you know, so we need to, without zero education and information of what is happening. Sadly, listen to this.
Is caused by the electricity grid, which is about 20. Large part of the carbon we have in the atmosphere now is caused by the electricity grid, which is about 25% or so.
Exactly.
So 24%, it comes from agriculture and forestry. Why is that causing such a big increase in carbon?
Cows and other grass-eating species.
So remember, they were pushing in vaccinating cows in Kenya. This was actually Ruto forcing people to do this. Remember that? They were forcing us to inject our livestock. I don't know how many people are caught. I don't know if this project already is active, if it's already happening in the country, because most of these things actually, as when they come into light, they're already happening. That's the crazy thing. Most of these things, when we're discussing them, they're already happening. It's not like they're planning to do it. They're already on the progress.
Have a digestion system that emits methane. And methane is a very powerful greenhouse gas. And so cows alone account for about 6% of global emissions. And so we need to change cows, just cows alone.
How are we going to do that?
Well, actually, of all the categories, the one that has gone better than I would have expected 5 years ago is this work to make what's called artificial meat. And so you have people like Impossible or Beyond Meat, both of which I invested in.
You eat it as well, and you like it?
Absolutely.
You do.
You see, he even told you need to drink that shit water. You remember turning shit into water? Was it? Yeah, remember? God, oh my God. This is the same person also telling you to eat bugs. Bugs are good for your health. What? Come on, are you kidding me? Like, for how long?
You can
Your lies are exposed. That's why you've taken control of TikTok. Your lies have been so exposed. The hidden videos, the hidden documents, everything is out and people know who you are. And that's why you're taking people's numbers down. You're taking people's followers down on TikTok. It's crazy, man.
go to Burger King and buy the Impossible Burger.
All right. Is it healthier for you or just healthier for the atmosphere?
It's slightly healthier for you in terms of less cholesterol. It's, of course, dramatic reduction in methane emissions.
I'm good. I'm gonna work out. I'd rather do the cholesterol. Okay. I'd rather have me some good raw meat, you know, fried with some good oil. I'm gonna work out. That's gonna work for me. Not me having some artificial meat. I don't even know how even that shit tastes. I don't even want to know.
Emissions, you know, animal cruelty, manure management, and the pressure that meat consumption puts on land use. You know, the main reason why we need to increase the agricultural output over the rest of this century is not the population increase. It's that as countries get richer, they eat more meat, and meat is a very inefficient way of creating calories.
God damn. And of course, we had Ruto, as you can see, literally very much quoted there, where he said, we have looked for money. Every cow in Kenya, 22 million heads of livestock will be vaccinated and paid for by the government of Kenya. That was actually early this year, late last year, where he was pushing this project. And so many African countries, it's not just Kenya. This is a global exercise and project that they are doing. I mean, you guys, we need every time you hear Bill Gates, it's like, you remember India, the way he was so scared to go to India, but now I think he can go back still because I mean, these people control every system. India is not free, is it? But he was not able to go to India because people discovered what he did with children and bunch of people. He needs to be scared coming to these countries trying to fund or even push these projects. These leaders need to be scared. And it's coming. It's slowly, actually it's rising very quick. It might not take 20 years anymore. It might be less than 20. It might be less than 10 because Africans are tired of this BS. They're tired.
When you start to see people like Bill Gates gobble up farmland, and you read what his foundation says about farming, when they say that we're going to have a particular type of agriculture, they want large blocks run by the government or by private consortia.
Private, remember privatization? Kenya has been private. Many African countries are private bullshit.
They say we're not going to have animal-based proteins, we're not going to have stockyards, we're not going to have turkey farms, we're not going to have chicken. The academic mind always has the answers, but never in the real world.
Trust me, I even question people who buy. I understand for people in America, for the people in the States. In Africa, I question people who buy chicken, meat at the supermarket. Trust me, I don't care how rich you are. Go to the butcher, go to the main butcher where you can see the meat, how it's been, slaughtered, chopped into pieces. For me, I don't even go to this minimal butcheries anymore. I go to the main slaughterhouse, to get my meat. Chicken, I'll go to the main chicken center or whatever to get my chicken. I don't get people who buy packed chicken meat at the supermarket or at the mall. I don't get it. And that shit is expensive, actually. Very expensive than the way you can get it from outside the mall or outside the supermarket. And I'm talking to specifically people in Africa. I don't know about America. I don't know about that, if the condition is different there, if it's possible. But you don't know what you're eating. You need to be careful because these people are pushing this, and by them pushing this, we're gonna be getting this. They want us to buy these things at their shopping centers, at the supermarkets. Because the moment you're gonna have vaccinated cows, goats, it's crazy, man. No.
And they do a lot of damage.
A fourth-generation farmer in South Georgia, raising concerns after Bill Gates became the largest individual owner of farmland in America. He's reportedly purchased more than 200,000 acres in 18 states. Well, Will Harris...
Imagine all that for what? Just owned by one person. And it's not him. We know who is behind it, but all those...
is the owner of White...
full control for real.
Oak Pastures, a farmer in Georgia. Well, look, I'm almost out of time, and I really have to get to the point as to why you don't think he will use it properly. You don't think we'll produce enough food, is that it?
I think that the complex system has so many unintended consequences.
I hear what he's saying, but yeah, we know literally this is not a good agenda. So African countries, the people, this is nothing to do with the African Union, which is a fake organization, nothing to do with the puppets, because they're all pushing it. We the people, because this is target for land. This is target about land. This is already happening, bro. This is already happening. We're talking about carbon emission, people being forced out of their lands because the government has signed deals without your consent, the owner of the land, and they don't care. And this is happening. The UAE is getting big percentages of lands in African countries. And this is without the people's or public knowledge. Deals being signed silently, and then after it's done, that's when they gazette it, so that people won't oppose it. And then look at what just happened in Kenya, seeking a bill which will not allow people to oppose any bill that is introduced by the government. Dictatorship at its best. Dictatorship at its very, very best. It's crazy, man. But we have on this other end news and updates coming from London. This particular weekend, we had demonstrators who are gathered in the central London, standing in solidarity with Sudan and calling for peace, justice, and for the UAE to keep its hands off Africa. And of course, shout out to most of the people I've seen this weekend as well, just not hashtagging Sudan alone, but remember we have Congo as well. We have Tanzania currently as well. We have Cameroon also on the line as well. Many African countries, because the rising of the African youth is a threat to these people, and they're going to do anything possible to maintain the power. In Kenya, you can see the way it's coming in. The RSF, shout out to the Somali soldiers, who actually, there's a video going viral of the Somali soldiers calling out the RSF and the Kenyan army. Because these people, as they come to Kenya, they are killing people. They're going all the way to Somalia, coming all the way, killing people. We are about to become a Sudan, just like that lady said. We're about to become a Sudan if we're not careful. And it's happening because these people, again, they're willing to do anything to maintain power. Yeah, so these are the updates. Literally, this was taking place on the 8th of November. That was on Saturday, where participants gathered to demand peace and justice for Sudan and to hold the United Arab Emirates, accountable for its role in the conflict in Sudan, and to call on the UK government to act against military and financial complicity in the crisis. As a matter of fact, we know that the British system is much actually involved in this, because we saw recently, that was last week, where we had some British arms, weapons that were discovered there, and they were linked to the RSF. Okay, they were belonging to the RSF group. But we have on this other end, that is in Zambia, President Hakainde Chilema of Zambia, that was on Saturday, under the barrage of stones which were thrown by angry citizens in the Copper Belt, and he has been widely accused of failing to deliver on his election promises. He was also one of the 4 presidents who attended the blood-stained inauguration for Madam Dictator in Tanzania, Idi Amin Dada Suluhu. Eyewitnesses say that the incident occurred during a public event where the president was addressing the crowd, prompting his security to intervene swiftly. Chilema was forced to duck behind the presidential podium and later sat down to shield himself from the stones. Recently, internal report warns that Chilema will face serious challenges in the 2026 elections due to the sluggish performance of the economy and growing public frustration over the unmet expectations. And the report adds that his popularity has been steadily declining, particularly in the copper belt other than urban areas that were once strongholds of his United Party Nation Development, the UPND. And of course, these are lovely scenes. Shout out to the comment section, people. They're saying these are lovely scenes. Someone says, I know my fellow Zambians. Okay, I don't know what that means. I can't read that. Someone says it is sad that people have to reach this level of bitterness, but that's the only language understood by the African leaders. Facts. So these are the scenes that took place.
That one for them quiet.
Oh. Hold on, I don't know what happened. StreamYard always doing this shit, always just taking things that you're sharing. It's crazy. Karibu sana Keith.
Dr. Sana, Joe, how are you this morning?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Karibu sana. But yes, I was just sharing scenes of what is happening in Zambia.
What happened in Zambia?
Okay. Yeah, so we're discussing about what is happening in Zambia, where the president was being stoned by angry not demonstrators, but angry youths who are at a stadium. And he's been accused of not delivering, of course, the promises of the people.
What's
Literally
that?
talking about the revolution that is rising in Africa amongst the youths. And they are demanding accountability because you promise people to deliver, but you're not doing that.
I told you, you're not gonna be able to keep the youth. I told you, you're having a collective waking up. You're the same people. Hey, you dumb. Charles even Torre did that press conference. He told the truth. You morons don't understand. You corrupt bastards, as he called y'all. I shall do you even. You corrupt bastards don't understand that you're in a different time. And the youth now, the babies ain't born are gonna be even worse. You're under a collective consciousness where Africans are waking up. You're not going to go back to normal. The docility that you've known through African people, well, I'm poor in Jesus, it's not going to work anymore. So I told you, 20 years, all you leaders are going to, you're going to get bubble gum. It's going to get brutal for you, motherfuckers. Because even the generation coming up behind this generation are going to be more brutal. You're going to be bubble gummed in the streets. It's coming. But hey, don't let me tell you. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, so these are the scenes of what took place, and this is amazing. And the fact that he's being called out for even attending Samia Suluhu irrigation, that is one of the things that has also made people angry, because we're seeing your dictatorship, which is very open. You are openly telling us you are also part of this system that is willing to kill for power, willing to do anything for power. You know, this comes the same as Ruto. We saw recently Ruto's one-term chance, which were back because he thought people were, people had forgotten because of Raila. We thought because Raila is gone now, people are gonna forget that he's a one-term president. The chant is back, and of course, it's getting even way worse. Yeah, the same thing that you can see happening in Zambia. Apart from him, the president being thrown stones at, and this other end, people are saying. We've seen, number one, people are not taking the voters card. That is number one. We can already see the 2027 general election, how it's going to be brutal. That is, people are already now accepting the facts, because the fact that this is someone who is openly telling you by early in the morning, as you motherfuckers wake up, I'll be the president. So what are you going to do about it? That is literally what they're telling you. Shitting on your face. We are the people of this country. We are the majority. The question is, are we going to keep on having this bullshit, or are we going to do something about it? Because personally, I was saying, I feel like 20 years is even more. The spirit is actually raising very quick than we expect. The tiredness of Africans, where we said Africans are not tired enough, it's coming. Actually, it's the anger it's way above. And after what happened, I think Tanzania's
It is.
killings have actually just angered people way more because,
I think it
again,
has.
TikTok is not allowing people to share these videos. I've seen most of the Tanzanian TikTokers actually have been arrested for even doing some funny TikTok videos, you know, are shaming Samia Suluhu and all that. This is the type of dictatorship that is actually in that country. People are also talking about how Julius Nyerere will not allow this kind of bullshit and Magufuli.
Of course not.
So people are tired. The anger of Africa, 20 years, it's way too far. 20 years is way too far. That is
No, I'm not saying it's gonna happen in 20 years. I'm saying that 20 years of here to 20 years gonna be a complete overhaul of Africa. I'm not saying it's gonna, 20 years is gonna start. I'm saying it's happening now, Joe.
exactly. Yeah. So literally we have Ruto who was saying about how he's not going to be the one judging Samia Suluhu because of what she did. She says in democracy, for instance, in Kenya, you can never get 96% of the votes. We're here to watch.
You can't get 96% of vote nowhere. Nowhere, moron. But we know you're corrupt. You know, everybody knows. Everybody's like laughing. You can't get 97% of the vote nowhere in history. It's laughable. Everybody knows it's a goddamn joke. So it means you are a fake. You are a phony. Even Paul Billstrolix, he ain't stupid enough to say he got 97%. He said he just barely won with 53% of the vote. I won. I barely won, but I did win. Even though he didn't win. He's not even stupid enough to say he got 97% of the vote. That's crazy talk. That's like, you know, that's like something that's them shitting in your face. Yeah, that's right. Got 97% of the vote, and then nobody vote. I'm out here shooting people in their head, all kind of shit. I got 97%.
Slightly beyond Kenya, to the region around Kenya, and perhaps the reason people are worried about the protests in Kenya is because the picture of democracy in East Africa doesn't look particularly good. We have recent elections in Tanzania, your neighbor.
The picture of democracy globally is not good. That is just a fact. This is nothing to do with Africa. We have to be very factual.
Exactly.
Say, oh, Africa, there's Africa bullshit. You don't practice democracy in your own goddamn countries. You know that very well. Is Trump practicing any democracy? Someone who is actually calling and involved in wars, calling the shots on wars, of course, because the master said so. Is that democracy? Someone who wants to invade now Nigeria because of the oil, or Christians are being killed. Since when did they care?
Isn't Venezuela a Christian country? Yeah, and they're gonna invade it. Exactly. They don't give a fuck about no Christians. That's the fake. They need a fake excuse, and people now are waking up to all the fake nonsense they always say. You don't give a fuck about no black. You don't treat black Christians good here in America. You talking about invading Venezuela? That's a whole Christian nation. I thought you give a fuck about Christians. It's all fake.
Samia Suluhu Hassan, the winner, declared 97% support. That's like North Korea.
Exactly. It's a joke. It's a joke.
It's not for me to judge Tanzania.
See,
it is.
It's not for me. It's not for me to judge. See, if you're a real leader, like you say, yeah, it's fake, it's phony. I mean, because he's a phony. And this them wash their hands. It's a fake interview. It's not for me to judge. Well, it's not. Well, Joe, okay.
Seems a bit fishy. 97%, doesn't it?
There is. Well, in a democracy, for example, in Kenya,
he likes using this bullshit. In a democratic country, you know, people are going to agree and disagree with you. In democracy, for example, in Kenya, no one can win 96%. Let's watch in 2027, Ruto. What are you guys going to do? We're here to watch in 2027. We're here to hold your words accountable, because you've just said no one is going to be on that ballot. You and your words. Openly, if you think people are stupid not to, do the math thing, or not everyone is not a critical thinker, maybe you'd say some words you think people cannot do the math thing. I'm doing the math thing. Early in the morning, I'm going to wake up as a president. Where are the other presidential candidates? You've already said no one is going to be actually in any of this campaign. In this campaign, no one is going to defeat you. What are you trying to tell us? We're here to watch in 2027. And Kenyans, stay ready, stand ready. Kenyans, stand ready. I'm not even gonna talk to Ugandans at this point. In Uganda, it's already chaotic. It's not elections yet, but it's already chaotic. But of course, we know the drama with Bobby Wine's arrest and all that. But there was shootings just during the weekend. Some protesters were protesting because of not being paid, and the police react by shooting people. In Uganda, it's already chaotic. I don't know what to tell Ugandans.
The government not paying nobody, and the answer is to shoot you in the head. How many money? Because it's been a dictatorship from a corrupt family, corrupt morons, and that's why you never hear white people ever say anything about no damn Museveni. They never say nothing about Museveni. You never hear him ever say nothing about this moron ever, because he's the one helping them steal shit out of the Congo. You never hear him say nothing about this idiot, this soft talking moron.
He's a good
because
leader. President. The Gen Z love him, so how dare you?
The Gen Z love him. He can't pay nobody, so he shoot him in the head.
So it's not a democracy anymore then?
That is you saying. It's every country has a way of them doing their stuff.
Every country, it's not exactly. It's not a democracy. It never was one until when that brother took over. So it's not democracy then. Well, that's you saying. That's you saying. That's you saying. No, that's what democracy means. Not me saying that. It means it's not a democracy because this bitch just won with 97% of a fake vote. That what you saying? That what you saying? I know Kenya's not a democracy either.
But I think the primary thing is democracy is the best.
Let's look slightly beyond Kenya to the region around Kenya, and perhaps the reason people are worried about the protests in Kenya is because the picture of democracy.
Hold on, okay.
Tidy always. It is not always easy, because there are all manner of moving parts. But I think we must work together to ensure that we protect democracy.
I think
It's the same old stupid shit. No, we must work together to protect democracy, and that means I win. That's democracy, as long as I win.
If you're working together to protect democracy, can the African Union do that? That is the work of the African Union, not your goddamn
How about that? How about that? African Union had celebrated Samia Suluhu. The people say, "What the hell kind of African Union?" Then they talk about condemn. We condemn the actions in Tanzania because you got caught again being a phony organization. You're phony. And your youth in Africa, you're phony. You're a fake organization.
Look at one of your other neighbors, Uganda.
So I think we should stick to democracy, and we must always give ourselves the opportunity to listen to the alternative view, to look at the alternative without injecting violence into the equation.
So look at one of your other neighbors.
Yes.
We should be able to listen to democracy without injecting what? This is the same person when people were practicing democracy last year, 5 p.m. This is a treason. This is considered as a coup d'etat. Anyone found on the street, shoot and killed, shoot the leg. So was that you trying to have a dialogue on how
exactly
democracy? And then after shooting hundreds of people, now, I've listened to you. Let's have a dialogue. And then people don't want to have a dialogue. Shoot them again. Now these people, shoot them again. Excuse me, sir? Can you hear yourself? These people are stupid for real. Now, this is a moron for real. Now understand, this is a real deep version of a moron. What are you talking about, man? But again, it's their role to pretend to act dumb. Your role. You are a president.
Exactly.
And your work is to play dumb. Okay, you don't understand democracy. You understand it according to how they understand, but don't apply it. You play dumb, like you understand. Just play dumb. And yeah, he knows how to play dumb. This one is a good one. This one and Museveni and Kagame. Oh, shout out to Kagame. Kagame is a good one. They know how to play dumb. Oh, Africa. This is Kagame. Africa has resources. We can benefit from our resources, but we don't take advantage. We've just allowed the European to come and extract. Excuse me? Oh, and the same person is like, oh, they're accusing me of working with the M23 rebel. Why are you being accused? I thought you're someone who is practicing democracy. How is your name even coming up in this bullshit? Like, if you're a democratic president, the people love you. Why don't the people talk in your country? God damn it! Where are the Rwandese to explain to us?
You know why they don't talk.
And the people come and they talk themselves like, hey, we know Kagame has been a good, he's done this to us. But no, Rwandese, it's like, we say mtungi kona maji. How do I say even mtungi? Mtungi is like a jar that is full of water, and you're silent. You don't talk. This is crazy, man. This is so diabolic.
Uganda, elections coming up very soon. President Museveni has been there for nearly 4 decades. And there were real questions about whether there were free and fair elections last time. His opponent, Bobby Wine, was under effective house arrest.
He knows damn well ain't nobody won no elections for no fucking 40 years. That's statistically impossible. So now we got to go into crazy talk. He'll say, the dude's been in power for 4 decades. How's that possible in a democracy? Well, it just is.
Yeah.
About those elections and whether they're going to be free and fair, because this affects of the whole region, does it not?
I attended it's not.
Hold on.
President Museveni's swearing in last election, and I think he got 57% of the.
That's a lie. Let's look at this. Okay, 57, vying against 2. Because this guy doesn't even allow other opposition, just like Samia Suluhu, openly. He doesn't want anyone vying for this seat. He wants his son. He's already told you, there's a possibility because the Gen Zs love me. They wanted to quit because, my son could take over. He's my son, but the Gen Zs love me. So I had to take and sit. Are you kidding me? 57, 56, that's a lie. That is a goddamn lie. They stole the election. There was not even voting that was done. They stole the elections. That is what they do.
He didn't get 90. So I think there is room for us to work on democracy is work in progress. And I think it spans different stages. There are countries like Kenya that are way ahead. There are others that are catching up. There are others that are still not yet started. And we see it changing everywhere. We see, for example, in the West, people moving more right, others moving in the left, and everything in between. So there is a dynamic globally that is changing, and society is responding to different characters. Who expected, for example, that we would have the kind of situation we had in the US?
Of the whole region, does it not?
I attended.
What situation?
In the previous election. Nobody expected that Congress would be attacked, that Capitol Hill would be attacked. That looked like far-fetched. Today, that's the world we live in. I mean, there's all manner of issues coming up.
Caused by who? Caused by your masters? Caused by who? There's all manner of issues. Oh, Africans just want to practice. And what excuse us? People are not dumb. Again, long are gone the times of our grandparents, great-grandparents, our parents, and those who are still left. Long is gone that time. The majority of us are angry and hungry. Okay, understand the two terms, or should I define them? Since you presidents don't know anything, it's like you have to go for the dictionary. You don't even understand what democracy is. We are angry and hungry. Get the difference? I'm not gonna keep on waking up every day. I have to steal a phone for me to make ends meet. Especially right now in Kenya, it's gonna be way worse in 2027. Because the youths, now even the youths who are stealing, they're getting banned. So if you survive, the anger keeps on rising because you're like, I can't steal. the government has not given me a job. What am I supposed to do? You're gonna go for a revolution. You'll want these puppets out. People are getting tired. You're not gonna keep on taking people's lands the way you want, giving it to white people. You're not gonna keep on privatizing our beaches to please the white people. This is our country. This is our continent. This is ours, not yours, not theirs. Okay, get the difference. Get the difference, and it's coming. I pity Africans who are still scared to talk, man. I boldly now. The guts are up. I'm talking. I'm not even scared. The guts are up. Shout out to those who also have the guts to talk about the real situations. Lose the fear, because for how long? Because of some suits. I also got a suit. I got some cute blazer. You think just because you have a blazer that makes you important? I was thinking, what are you talking about? Crazy man. These people. Anyway, as we wind up, shout out to Drow Mosquito and to those the silent listeners literally on the radio Beachwood, on Rumble, and to
Yeah, I came in real late. We already winding up. Damn, that was quick. Shit.
Yeah, Drow Mosquito says no unbooty for a white man. No unbooty for a white man. What do you mean unbooty? I didn't get that. But I also see says yes, white people's tribalism is based on classism, exactly. And also says Joby, I'm still having nightmares of Kamlesh sticking his tongue out, wiggling it. God damn, ew. Still remember that? I even forgot about that shit. But I also see John also says there are so many white people crawling all over Africa now. They're everywhere. I agree.
Yep.
Like I said, it's up to us to know, because the white savior narrative, that's not working. These people are not here to save you. They're here to take what belongs to you. They're here to save themselves. Okay, we want the missionary.
Exactly.
The missionary lies. Get it out of your head. Okay, and again, like I said, it's crazy how is Jesus white, but white people, and now is Satan black. And black people are the most humble people, the most loving people. Can you just make that shit make sense?
Now you exactly. Now you understand it. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Well, Jones says Ruto wanted to laugh after hearing 97%. Shout out to him, man, because he knows those are the truths.
He did want to laugh. Everybody heard that. They all laughing. I mean, I think you ever read my post when people say how she was 97%, they all start laughing because they know it's a joke. They know it's so criminal. It's so crazy. It's so over the top ridiculous that somebody, if you're going to at least lie, at least say, well, we won with 60% of the vote. At least make it sound decent. Sound completely crazy.
Not Idi. I mean Dada Suluhu, not her. But anyway, have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful rest part of your morning. And of course, see you guys later on the Rhythm Scoop Show on the Africa Today Show. And of course, for those who shall be catching this on a replay, leave your comments, leave your likes, and of course, subscribe if it is your first time. A quick reminder to download our app on the Google Play Store. Get yourself the amazing organic supplements. Get to listen to us via the radio segment in case you're not able to stream on YouTube, on Rumble or Beachwood, so long as you're on the network. Black or Fire Network is on and running. But have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful day. See you guys later on the rest parts of the shows.